Okay, it's recording now. Did you want to do a countdown or no?
I'll do it on yours. So you count down to me.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1. So my first job was at a restaurant called Shooters in Patterson, and it's a very small town. So this was probably still is one of the only restaurants there. And I started working there right out of high school. That was my first job ever. My parents didn't want me to work while in high school because they wanted me to just focus on school and the sports that I was in. But once I got out of high school, and I was going to community college, I wanted to be going out and hanging out with my friends and, going shopping and stuff. And so my parents were like, okay, well, now you need to get a job because you're wanting to do stuff that costs money. So that was my first job, and I was there for 6 years. So I worked there from when I was 18 to 24. So as soon as I graduated my undergrad, I quit there because I was like, okay, I don't want to be a waitress anymore. But I first started off there as a bus girl. So I worked there, like, I think when I first started, I literally worked maybe 2 nights a week. They would just call me in when they needed me. I didn't really have a set schedule. And then after a couple years, they made me like into a waitress. And so I waitressed around, depending on if people needed shifts covered and stuff, I'd work anywhere from like 3 days a week to 6 days a week, and mostly worked on weekends because at the time I was going to MJC and then I transferred to Stan State. So um, I tried to work mostly on weekends, so Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and then Mondays, and then focus on school during the week. And I liked working the weekends anyway because I don't know if you ever go to restaurants or if you ever worked in a restaurant, but weekends are typically the busiest time, so you make more tips. So I didn't really mind working on the working weekends, and it was kind of a sports bar like restaurant, so there were TVs on every wall, and we mostly just played sports all the time. And it was in a small town, so we pretty much got the same customers in like daily on and every weekend. So I got to know a lot of customers on like a first name basis and became friends with some of them. Some of the customers, however, like didn't none of the waitresses really like some of our customers I came in because we just knew like, oh, these people aren't going to leave tips. Like we'd call them no tippers. But yeah, during the summertime, it would get really hot in that restaurant, and everyone was always miserable because there was just windows all the way around and they were not tinted, and the sun would just come in all the time, and the AC never seemed like it was working very well. So the summertime always sucked working there. However, it was kind of good exercise, I guess, because you're constantly walking around, waiting on tables all the time. I feel like I would get home a lot of the time on Fridays and Saturday nights, and my feet were always super sore just from walking around for like 5 hours straight. Um, Actually got hired there because one of my older brother's friends was a manager there, and then one of his other friends was a waitress there at the time. So when I was looking for jobs, my mom drove me there, and I got off and I went inside and just asked them if they were hiring. And then one of the girls happened to be one of my brother's friends, and she's like, "Oh, Amanda," she's like, "Yeah, I'll put in a good word for you." And then I guess she did, and I was called back to come in and start working. So that was kind of nice. Um, they were pretty flexible with my school schedule, which was also nice. So every semester, when people's like work school schedules would change, they would take our schedules and ask us like what days we could and couldn't work. But I would always pretty much have the same schedule because I would just let them know like I'm fine working Fridays through Sundays, and those are always the days that like no one else wants to work. But yeah, it was a good job. It helped me buy my first car. Made some good friends there. I would hang out with the girls that I worked with often after work and stuff. And then there was the Baskin Robbins right across the street. So we'd always go there during our shift when it was slow and get ice cream and then come back and eat ice cream. Yeah. How many minutes am I at?
5
Oh,
now.
okay. Well, I'm all done.
Yep. Yeah, you could have stopped whenever.
Oh, okay. Oh, well,
Yeah, that's
yesterday,
how.
I should have
Yep.
told you how we did it yesterday. Allison would just, while she was giving the speech, and I would tell her, like, okay, 3 minutes has passed up, and she'd kind of just stop after that.
Yeah. How we did it with Marcella was we both had timers on our side, so we knew the time the whole time.
Oh, okay.
So
Whoops.
then you can stop when you wanted to, or I was gonna stop you at 5 if you're gonna go full 5. But we're stopping at 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I got yours. Make another one. Nice.
And I'm just gonna keep on recording. That way we have all the videos on one YouTube link.
Okay.
It'll be kind of easier to share with everyone.
Okay.
Yesterday, our videos ended up on 2 different ones because my laptop died right as soon as Allison finished the first video. So kind of sucked, but it's okay.
Well, I mean, you started off really good. Like the first 60 seconds. I mean, 45 seconds. I didn't hear anything, and then after interval 4, I started hearing a couple things, and then it went. Yeah.
I don't know. I felt it too. I was like, oh no. Okay. So you could pick your next topic for me whenever you're ready, and then I'll take notes, and then we could go.
Yeah, zoo vacation.
Okay, favorite vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I am ready.
Okay.
Let me get my timer ready, and then you want me to say 3, 2, 1, or?
Yep, you do it, and then I'll set the timer as soon as you do that.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, my favorite vacation would have to be when I flew to Colorado to meet my husband there because he was just getting out of the military. So I flew to Colorado back in November of 2014 so that I could drive back with him to California. So I had been to Colorado a few times before that, and it's beautiful. It's such a nice state. But anyway, for this trip, I flew down there, and it was in November, so it was still kind of cold and a little bit of snow outside. So it was nice, but we packed up the rest of his stuff in the truck, and then we started driving back to California and decided that this was also my last semester at Stan State. So we kind of had like a timeline of when we had to get back to California, but we had like a few days. So we knew that we could take our time and make stops at some cool places along the way that we wanted to see. So one of the first stops we made was in Colorado, and I can't remember the specific place that it was called, but they were like some hot springs along the way. So we stopped in this one town, and they had like they were just natural like hot springs where like the water is just hot all the time, and it was really cool because it's all snowy outside, but there are these just pools and like ponds of water where it was just really hot water, but then it also kind of smelled like that sulfur smell. But they were really cool. So we hung out there in that town for a little bit, and then I can't remember. We stayed the night a couple places, I believe. So just because we didn't want to drive the full way from Colorado back to California. But anyway, we decided to make a little vacation out of it and see some of these cool places. But one of the next stops that we made was at Four Corners Monument, and it's where 4 states meet. So it's Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah. And it's like in the middle of nowhere too. It's kind of in a random location, but you just go there, and then it has like the lines on the floor, on the ground, where all 4 states, like all 4 corners of the state meet, and then you could like stand there, and it's really cool and take pictures and everything like that. And there was a whole bunch of other like people there too. And there's all these little like kind of like shops along it that you could go and like look at little crafts and stuff and purchase things. And then the last place that we stopped on our way was the Grand Canyon, and went and saw that. So that was really pretty, and it almost looked fake. It was so pretty. And then after the Grand Canyon, we just drove straight from Colorado back to California and made it home to go back to school. I think it was like the next day or the next day after that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I thought that was a fun vacation. It was a little road trip, and that was my favorite vacation.
Cool.
I'm done. Okay. So, you have your data?
Yep.
Okay.
I kind of tongue click. I'm not sure if I was considered a tongue click. It was kind of like
Yeah,
is that
that's,
considered a tongue click?
I,
What would you say?
I think so. That's what I was asking Allison yesterday too. I'm like, what is considered a tongue click? And she said but I'm thinking that maybe like that smacking would be considered a tongue click
Yeah.
as well.
I
Because
just don't tongue click. I mean, I don't think I do. I've never heard people do that.
yeah, because that's what when I was reading the study too, I was wondering what the tongue clicks were like, because I feel like I really don't hear like people do that, but I do hear people do
Yeah.
the
Like the
that.
smacking sound.
Yeah. We
So
could
yeah, that's what I go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I mean, you could count it, and then we could talk with the other girls to see if they want to consider that the tongue clicks, because I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Um, Yeah, because I just heard that little sound. I'm just gonna put it down just because I wasn't sure. But yeah, let me look at the operational definition of it real quick.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Tongue clicks were defined as the speaker emitting a click sound with his or her tongue that could be heard from at least 3.
So yeah, it sounds like a tongue click. I mean, yeah. So I guess it wouldn't be then because it's like a smacking of the lips or something. But do you use your tongue for that? I don't know.
Yeah, I do use my tongue. It's like the roof of my mouth. So I think that would be a click sound
Let's
with his or
count
her
it.
tongue because it is a click sound. It's a
Yeah.
I don't know. We could talk about it.
So I got on that one. I got 10
Ooh.
one tongue click, and 9 likes. And on the first one, I had 11 0 clicks, and 7 likes. So yeah, it's looking pretty stable.
That's good.
You want to do another one?
Yeah.
Session number 3, baseline. What was the other one that they have on the paper? I'm just gonna use the other one. I don't think I like that one. That one wasn't
No,
very
yeah, that's why we just chose a different one because it's if I could be born in
in a decade.
hiccups. If I could be born in any decade, and we were just thinking how that one might be kind of hard to talk about.
Yeah,
So we
it's a little
might
short.
probably
What
engage
about
more.
favorite TV show?
I
Is
don't
that a
really
good one?
I don't really have like a favorite TV show. I think me and Allison did what did we do? Our first year of college.
All right, first year of college. Let's do that.
Do you want to do that one or
Yep. Let's do
okay.
that one.
Okay, so I'm gonna start taking notes.
Yep.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right. Get my phone. All right, on your go.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. So my first year of college was spent at Modesto Junior College, and that's where I spent the next like 6 years because I couldn't get my life together. But anyway, I took the regular general ed classes. So I believe I even remember like a couple of the classes I took. I know I took like health and I took a general psychology class and like a weightlifting class maybe and I did not have my driver's license. I didn't get my driver's license until my second semester out of high school. So that first year, well, that first semester of my first year of college, I took the bus occasionally. And my brother was also going to the same school. So depending on what his schedule was like, I would either ride with him or my mom would take me if she was able to. But yeah, I would take the bus sometimes, and it was kind of an obnoxious drive because from Patterson to Modesto is not a long drive. It's maybe like 35 minutes, but if you're taking the bus, it makes quite a few stops in the small towns nearby. So it could take up to like 45 to 50 minutes to get from school to home or from home to school. So it motivated me to finally get my license. I ran cross country and track there at MJC that first year, and I met a lot of my close friends that I continued to hang out with while I went to MJC from cross country and track, and my coach was amazing. So that first year that I was there, it was super nice having that kind of already automatically get put into like a small group of friends and family kind of, and had that support from them and help with school and everything. So we would spend a lot of time together. We'd hang out before and after classes and go and get food together and stuff like that. That first semester, since I was in those sports, I'd have to be at school as early as like 6 o'clock and sometimes be there as late as 10 o'clock at night because of the classes I was taking. Yeah, I think overall it was a good experience and I really enjoyed that first year of college, even though I didn't really know what I was doing as far as like what I wanted to do with my life. But it was good and it was fun. And that's it.
Cool.
Because like looking at the time, I'm like, okay, I have nothing to talk about anymore. Okay. Do we think we need to do another one or?
It's on you. It's your data. What are you thinking? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Do you want more data for yourself?
So, okay, so what we're turning in, are we turning in our own data or
Yeah.
am I turning in like, so am I turning the data that you took for me or am I turning in the data that I took for Allison?
The data that you're gonna receive from me.
Oh, okay.
Because that's your behavior. That's not my behavior, you know?
Okay. But we needed to do an A/B design, right? So we need to have that baseline and then part of our actual the intervention, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's another thing I was trying to figure out, like how do we know when we're gonna move on to the next thing, right? To the intervention. I know we had to look at the trend, and I mean, and the way to look at that is by putting these numbers in a graph already, right? Yeah. And then seeing if we can move on. What's up?
You could kind of already tell just from like visually looking at it that it looks stable, right? Because it's not too far like variable, right?
Yeah, 11, 7, 10, 9. Yeah, it looks pretty stable to me. 3, 11. Yeah, I would say so. And just darn go down a little bit. Some almost went down a little bit. Likes kind of stay around. Went up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I would say maybe, yeah. But like I said, we need to figure out how to do that formula of getting the habits per minute.
Yeah.
How do you think we would do that? Like,
so
because I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think, like, would it be the total of all the behaviors divided by 20 intervals, because that's completely 5 minutes, or would it be divided by because like on the intervals are different, right? Like on your first session, the intervals went to interval 18, whereas your second session, the intervals went up to only 11 and maybe 12. I'm not sure because there was no behaviors on that, so I didn't put anything. But so yeah, like all of the and then the other one also went up to level 10, went to interval 10. So like I don't think that would be the way to divide it unless it is. I I was thinking it would probably be by 60 seconds, maybe, because it's by minute.
Okay, so let's see. So the frequency within 15-second interval recording. Hold on, I'm gonna stop recording really quick.
Yeah, that's fine.